By pressing play, you've been transported to escape velocity, where the random and ridiculous thoughts expressed here do not reflect the views of the store or the employees. There will be no apologies for the things said today by your hosts and their guests. With that being said, enjoy the experience. What's up, y'all? This is the first episode of February.
You know what it is. It's Black History Month.
Yeah, so this is going to be episode 5 of Yo, where the captions at? Yo, where they at? Where they at?
I'm black and you black.
Where they at?
Where they at? Y'all.
Where's your black at? Where them captions at? Where your black facts for these captions at? And as always, guys, I'm yours truly, Kills for Show, a.k.a. Killmonger for President in 2020. And with me always is my bro host.
You know who it is, Roscoe, a.k.a. Roscoe Tinkoya, a.k.a. the black man in the room.
Okay, cool. I'll let you have that.
Yeah.
And join us always is the boy Daniel on the wheels of steels, the 1 and 2s, the click clackety on the keyboards, and he will also be one of our special guests today.
Hey guys, doing 2 jobs today. One's for fun and the other one is also for fun.
Word. Also joining him in the guest seat today is the boy Randy.
Sup?
Word. Speaking of what's up, yo, what's poppin'? We're gonna go straight into it. No intros, no how the weekend's going. We don't need to hear none of that shit. Rewind that. I want to hear about this strip club experience a little bit, Daniel. Do you want to talk about that?
So yeah, I mean, you said you didn't want to know how the weekend was, but this was the weekend.
I know. I decided it was an audible real last second.
So we were hanging out. We were drinking. I went to the bathroom and I came back out and saw a few of my friends with my girlfriend, and they all had these big shit-eating grins. And I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, well, get ready. We're going to the strip club. And I look at my girlfriend like, is this what you want to do? And she's like, yeah, baby, we're going to the strip club. So we went down to the Snooty Fox, had ourselves a time. And
how expensive was it?
Decently. However, I didn't pay too much for it.
What's the cover?
Covers $10 a person, which
that's not bad.
Don't use the ATM inside because that thing will charge you $8.50.
Oh yeah, shit!
Damn.
See,
yeah,
I don't fuck with strip clubs because there's no way a titty gonna be that close to my mouth and I can't lick that hoe. Like it's just me, and I work too hard for this money that I get to just throw it away, literally throw it away.
I mean, it was a fun time. Financially, I don't think it's something I would do a lot. Yeah, I don't think I would do it. Regularly.
That's what FICA's for, and I already paid that out of taxes, so they already get my money.
My girlfriend had a good time. I had a good time. It was a fun night.
Word. What about you, Randy? What you get into this weekend?
Fucking nothing really. Just chilled.
Word.
Over the weekend, yeah.
Cool. Ain't nothing wrong with being broke. That's why if I go to the strip club again, I'm gonna walk in with a sign saying I'm broke and don't want to be here. This is not my idea.
And Ross, put on a shirt.
Word, hell yeah, put that shit on a shirt. No, I'm gonna work literally like a bum sign. I'm just some cardboard. I'm gonna write that shit and just walk in. Like, I'm gonna let y'all know what I'm on right now.
Too, because you know I'm gonna have to be tagged along.
I don't want to be here. So Ross, what about you? How was the weekend?
Shit, same old. Just chilled out. Went to a Niners bar. No need to talk about that, but it was a good experience. It was a nice place. They had all the good meats.
Yes, they did. I got a plate in the fridge from that son of a bitch too. I'm gonna fuck up as soon as I get in the crib.
And they made this I don't even know, loaded baked potato, but it was a half baked potato. Like,
you talking about the mashed potato ball?
Yeah. That joint hit.
That shit look like the devil.
That joint hit. Because they got the sour cream already put into the middle.
Oh, shit, I didn't know that.
With the chives and all that.
Oh, damn.
So when you get into the middle, you hit that potato, then hit the sour cream and all that right there. And that's the only time, I'm going to be honest, I fuck with sour cream.
Like, I seen that shit, but my fat ass, I thought it was like a fried ice cream ball. But I was like, I'm not trying to eat no ice cream right now. But then I heard it was mashed potato. I was like, but I was already on my 5th plate. So I was like, you know what, I don't have room for all that.
Talking about fried mashed potato balls?
Yeah.
That's called
latkes. No, not necessarily latkes, but
fuck, we used to serve them at fucking Shame and Regret where I work.
Word.
What the fuck are they called? I forgot. Never mind.
And that is not a plug or a sponsorship. We are not associated with them, and they do not pay us.
They didn't pay us. They don't pay me shit.
Ooh. That's why you here so early all the time. I'm like, fuck it, I'm out. You don't pay me shit. I'm gonna leave. And speaking of the Super Bowl, there's no better way to start off, yo, what's poppin', than talk about the Super Bowl. If you don't know, already know, the 49ers lost to Kansas City after blowing the lead late in the game. I have no dogs in that race, so I really don't care either. Either way, I don't give a fuck.
But, congrats to Andy Reid for being able to come back and winning it.
You mean Patrick Mahomes?
Well, Andy Reid.
He didn't throw a ball.
But, he's always had a record of always failing at the Super Bowl.
True that.
And now he won it, so no longer a failure.
Now the only hero in his house won't be a sandwich.
Oh. You mean now his kids will finally respect him?
They always did.
Always respect him. He was always respected as a coach. It's just most people didn't. Most people said that this win would make him a Hall of Famer now, even though he would be easily a Hall of Famer as a coach anyway.
Yes, and let's really talk about the most important part of that Super Bowl.
Commercials?
No. That halftime show, baby.
Shakira.
I'm still Jenny from the block. Yeah. Yes. All that cool-o going around, yo. Good God almighty. Was that a sight for the eyes? Stevie Wonder, I wish you could see, baby, because you missed out on something spectacular. It was a good-ass time. And it also made me forget how many hits Shakira had, because I know the go-to ones. I was like, yo, she got these bangers.
Was it a mashup, or did they sing their individual songs?
They sung their individual songs. I thought it was going to be a mashup, but then they kind of came together at the end to do a little
song together.
Yes.
With some little kids. And
I didn't know that little girl was the daughter of her and Mark Anthony that was singing lead. Yes, that was their daughter, and it was all little brown kids in cages, too. I didn't catch that until the rewatch.
I caught it, but I
knew there was all little girls.
But the itis hit me, so I kind of passed out, and then when I blinked again, I was like, oh, they ain't in cages. I guess I was daydreaming.
No, man, they were in cages. I was like, oh shit, they were really doing subliminally.
Yeah,
so that gave another reason for all the older whites out there watching the Super Bowl to be a little upset.
Oh, but you know what really also probably got them upset too? That Jenny feather vest, because it showed the American flag.
No, that was Puerto Rico.
But no, when she opens it up,
Roscoe, the flag is made of the same stripes and colors.
But the opposite side, the inside was Puerto Rico.
So you're saying she turned around, that was the American flag. See, she didn't show that.
Yeah, that's the only real. I was like, is she? At first, I was like, so she's wearing the American flag. Then I was like, oh no, it's Puerto Rico on the inside. And then when I looked again, I was like, but the outside's American. All right.
Just like a burrito, a tostada, and a taco. It's all the same shit, just wrapped up differently.
Basically like 90% of the items at Taco Bell.
See. And it all comes out your ass the same way, too.
Yes, it does.
Ooh, quick and
Fuego! Mad explosive. But correct. Yes, congrats to the Kansas City Chiefs for winning. Congrats to Patrick Mahomes for being a black quarterback and getting a Super Bowl trophy. Always got to salute that. And thank you, J-Lo and Shakira, for all that you gave us.
And also, statistically, they what I found out, thanks to Shannon Sharp and them, Patrick and them never lost a game underneath 23 points. So, Kansas City had to at least score 23.
Hell yeah, I can't be mad at that numbers. And also, what happened at the Super Bowl, we got a nice little preview of what's to come on the MCU tip on the Disney Plus app. We got our first looks at Falcon and the Winter Soldier, WandaVision, and the Loki series.
Oh my god.
Because the first two are coming later this year, but Loki won't be out until like this time, 2021. So any thoughts about those two?
I'm so excited for WandaVision.
Is WandaVision directed by David Lynch or some shit? Because it looks like some cerebral, like...
I can't tell you.
I mean, it's not, but it looks like that.
From what I can, guess from just the storylines, her brain is gonna break, and with that, all of her chaos magic is gonna start affecting the multiverse.
Is it chaos magic? Because in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, she gets her powers from the Mind Stone.
I guess I'm thinking more comic book related,
Yes.
but I could be wrong.
Well, in the comics, her powers are hex. Well, originally,
yeah, it was retcon
hex, yeah.
mad times. Like it was hex. It was a probability altering hexes. Because before she wasn't technically a mutant, she was more like a witch. But then she was recon to being a mutant, which for most of her comic book history, she's been a mutant. But then she was also able to tap into that chaos magic. But also then you come to find out on Children's Crusade, Dr. Doom had manipulated Chitron or the Dark God, Chthon, into for some reason allowing Wanda to tap into his power source, which is all weird shit. But hopefully this series turns out weird in a good way. I'm definitely looking forward to Falcon and Winter Soldier just to see how
Zemo.
Yeah, Zemo's back. He's gonna wear the purple.
I was
pinkish
wondering
hood.
at the end of Ultron, Age of Wait, was that Civil War?
Civil War, yeah.
Because whenever, what's the Hobbit guy's name?
Martin
Freeman.
Martin Freeman, yes.
He's talking to Zemo, and it's like as if like his shit's not done, and then you see him. Yeah.
It's one of those classics like I'll be back.
Right.
Well, you know,
he's like, oh, it's only started.
The Abomination hasn't been back yet.
No,
either.
the only really recurring villain has been Thanos and Loki.
True. Yes.
Everyone else is like, I died.
Ronan. kind of,
sort of in flashbacks, but then you also have Ultron that I'm wearing to pop back up, and somehow because somebody gonna dust off an old iPod Nano.
That's right.
And Ultron just like, upload me.
Maybe that'll be Wanda and Vision.
iPod.
Maybe
that could work too.
Ooh.
Maybe in bringing back Vision, she unbeknownstly brings back
A piece of Ultron
as well. Especially if she rewinds Vision back to pre-destruction in Endgame, or Infinity War.
Because right now we have no idea what how she's gonna bring him back.
Yes,
and that's the best part.
In like what capacity any of it's gonna be. But.
Exactly, and then you had the Loki part, which I had to find out watching reviews. On his shirt, there's the letters TVA, which stands for the Time
Variance Authority.
Yes, basically their Time Patrol Force. If you fuck with Xenoverse, it's like them, like Trunks was teamed up with. If you watch Legends of Tomorrow, the Time Bureau. Or if you watch Doctor Strange, the Time Lords. Not Doctor Strange, I'm sorry.
Doctor Who, the
Time Lords.
Ooh, y'all need to get caught up on Doctor Who. That shit's messing me up. Get out of here.
Who's on first?
What's on second?
13. But yeah, so that was definitely one of my highlights of the whole Super Bowl because my team was in there. But we're going to be there next year. How about them Cowboys?
Highlight for the Super Bowl for me was when me and my D&D party got through a few different traps and found who we were looking for.
Word.
Because I didn't watch
Was
the
it R.
show.
Kelly? Was it a closet?
Yeah, we
Let's not go to nectar in that chalice.
We were in the we were in the urine mines of Fandalare.
Okay, word. And sticking on the MCU, Owen Wilson has been cast in a mystery role in the Loki series. Ooh. We don't know who or what he's going to be, but he's going to be on that show.
My prediction for the theme of Wanda and Vision, if it does if it's thematic, from what I saw on the commercial, was I think it's going to be thematically about trying to live a normal life and you know have like the nice normal relationship.
Yeah.
You know, whenever you're super powered, like you're way too super powered, and can you balance all that shit? I don't know. I'm just throwing out.
I mean, it could be because there's. Did any of you guys read Tom King's Vision?
No.
I read the first this is when they had the family and all that.
Yeah,
shit, right?
yeah.
But that was when Vision's wife. Is that talking about whenever
Vision
Vision's
had
wife
the
was
family.
another version?
Yeah.
And she killed the Grim Reaper, and it was like everything was spiraling out
Grim
of control.
Reaper, Wonder Man's brother?
Yeah.
Okay.
But he was just trying for a normal life, and I think they're kind of take something from that where she wants a normal life, she just wants to be with Vision.
And it's hard to have a normal life if you never had one in the first place.
Exactly.
So maybe that's how she slipped into the TV because that's what we use TVs for, to escape. So she might literally escape into that world of being trapped.
My money is on she's going to realize in each of these scenarios, because we see her flipping through all the different types, that he isn't actually Vision. He's just her idea of Vision. It's not really
Put him
him.
back, Wanda.
And then maybe, because it's saying that it's all going to tie into Doctor Strange, maybe after she goes crazy realizing that's when she breaks the multiverse.
Word, and this is good. I'm glad you brought up Doctor Strange because that was going to be my next topic. Doctor Strange 2 is damn near confirmed that Clea, America Chavez. Why can't I say Chavez? America Chavez and Brother Voodoo will all have roles in this movie. Yeah. On top of Wanda being in it as well. And rumors of other heroes popping up too in this multiverse of madness.
Different incarnations.
Exactly.
I think that's where we're first going to see Miles.
We could. That could be we hop into a dimension. We don't have to see him in.
Like,
we just can see him in suit.
We could just see him in suit.
Yeah.
Even with
like, Spider-Gwen.
Like you're Spider-Man. New costume, and he's like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah,
you're black.
No, that was me getting sucked back through the multiverse. or like literally they could be flying through the multiverse and you can see characters literally swinging through the dimensional shit.
I want to see Marvel Zombies.
I was never a big Marvel Zombies fan, but we are getting that What If series, so we always could get that there too. So maybe this might have been the issue which made the director decide to leave because they were trying to put too much shit into this one movie, and he already had his clear horror vision. But like, well, we need this person, we need to have this scene here because it's gonna set up this show and set up this movie. So he probably like, you know what? Nah, I'm cool. Thank you.
Y'all allow me to do as much as I can. I can't do too much.
Hell yeah. Stepping off of Marvel into the realm of DC, there's been a lot of Black Adam cast reveals as far as the scripts going. Like, we're supposed to be getting Hawkman, Hawk Girl, Atom Smasher, Stargirl, and Dr. Fate. All in this movie? All in the Black Adam movie. So the Justice Society of America. And word is, we also might get the OG Green Lantern, Alan Scott, and the OG Flash, Jay Garrick, to pop up as like cameos as well. But that's not confirmed. But basically, all those other characters I mentioned are pretty much in the script. So they're setting up Black Adam to be his own mini Justice League movie from off rip. Okay. So that's going to be interesting too.
I think it'll be interesting to see if the movie ever gets done. I mean, I hope it is.
Oh, it's happening. This already in production. The Rock's shooting this shit.
Okay, because I mean, with what we've seen with movies that had a chance that didn't go anywhere, I always think about the Gambit movie that was in development.
What's the movie you're talking about right now?
Black Adam.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's like a Shazam character.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which you kind of see him in Shazam, but only in a hologram.
Which was fucking shitty. Like, you have The Rock. He signed on to play this motherfucker. Just have The Rock and give us a fucking Scorpion King flashback. It's basically the same movie.
He prayed to the god Anubis.
He did. Anubis. What do you think that A in Black Adam stands for? When you say Shazam. No. That's not what The Rock is cooking. But and another thing in geekdom, Transformers is possibly getting another soft reboot with the new incarnation being Beast Wars. Okay. It's damn near confirmed that Beast Wars will be the next Transformer movie, not including the possible Bumblebee sequel that's said to be in production as well, or at least in the early stage of working out a script. So that'd be interesting too, because I know they want to do like a Rise/Fall of Cybertron / Optimus Prime origin movie. I think that would be dope if you just take it back and show him as Orion Pax and show everything that leads up to him. But if you could incorporate that into Bumblebee 2, maybe it's Bumblebee 2, I gotta help Prime remember who he is type deal, so they go back to Cybertron, or they meet up with some humans that help Optimus Prime remember who he was or how he got his start, and tie that all back into each other. Because the Transformers is definitely a franchise, if given to the right person, could be magical. Yes. Not explosive, not distracting, not hard to figure out what is going on, but just a good, fun action. It basically should be the family version of the Fast and Furious. That's what Transformers should be on paper. But who knows? Just like, who knows when Diggle will actually put on that Green Lantern ring. Spoiler alert, how did you feel seeing that moment, Ross, in the last episode of Arrow?
I'm gonna be honest, I saw it and I'm like, well, if y'all gonna give us this rumored Canary spinoff, might as well give us Diggle. I'll take a TV short, even if it's just 4 episodes. But
like a CWC type Diggle as the Green Lantern.
Yeah,
word.
I mean, I'm more intrigued to see how they gonna pull this off, especially the fact that, like, if they do it, it's a great way to honor Oliver. He's great way to give him literally it still ties in with the whole team, so literally he could make appearances and come back. His wife no longer works with Argus, so we could always see him being a family man when he's not being the Green Lantern.
That we know of, because Layla always says she ain't working for somebody.
But the thing is, they retired and moved.
That don't mean nothing in the Arrowverse. They're like, no, I'm not working for the Anti-Monitor. I am the Anti. We're like, what the fuck? I am the Harbinger. Yo. But that just, I'm glad you said that too, because it just makes that relationship between Oliver and Diggle even greater, because in the comic book, Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern, is like Oliver Queen's his right hand man, because they are the brave and the bold. They always have those classic team up episodes too. Well, mainly it's Oliver trying to make Hal Jordan realize how things are on Earth and bring him closer to the people on the streets. But with that being said, with Diggle, you have Diggle that's now out there in space, and Oliver is the Spectre. So now Diggle could even further remind Oliver about his own humanity, but it also plays back into the comic book relationship between the Green Arrow and Green Lantern. So it'd be dope if we could somehow see them both be superheroes again at the same time, or even if we do see Diggle as the Green Lantern, he shoots somebody with an arrow like, yo, that's for my homie Oliver. They're like, yo.
Oh, you know they're doing that if they do it in the first episode. Without a doubt.
Hell yeah. And
that's probably gonna be the first thing he do is make a green arrow.
For real, it's like, oh shit, got something else for that ass. Because I wonder if, because his name is John Diggle, but I wonder if they're gonna pull some shit out like, kind of almost like they did with Robin and fucking Dark Knight Rises. Like, oh, it's actually like John Stewart, so why you go by Diggle instead? Oh well, because this isn't third. Then you find out he was in John Stewart the whole time. I don't know how I like that, but I also could see him doing some shit like that.
I mean, if they were smart, if they wanted to be clever about it without being too in your face, keeping him John Diggle because it is the multiverse.
Yeah,
you could, have like one of the Guardians of Oa being like John Diggle, the Steward of Justice.
Or what if we find out like Diggle's not even his last name, is his middle name?
Right.
Like, for some reason he's just like, nah, I didn't want to go by Stewart or some shit like that. But that would definitely be interesting. And one other thing too in the geek world. The first trailer for Mortal Kombat Legends Scorpion's Revenge is an animated movie, and that dropped this weekend, and it looks good.
It's so good.
It looks good. It's definitely giving me hype for the Mortal Kombat movie, which I thought was coming out this year, but I guess it got pushed back to early next year.
It reminded me that we were getting this live action movie.
Yes, and that shit looks good. If you haven't seen that trailer, definitely check it out.
This is for live action?
No, that's an animated.
No, it's an anime, but they're giving us a live action next year.
Yes.
I'm excited for the live action.
But this is something just to wet our beaks until we get that real life fatalities from left to right next year.
And I would like to congratulate my favorite black safety from the Denver Broncos, Steve Atwaters, for getting himself inducted into the Hall of Fame over the weekend.
That's what's up.
On your blue to the day I die, baby.
Hell yeah, and of course it wouldn't be the weekend without some music. So if you haven't subscribed to our official Spotify playlist, it's YWDCA1, and this is where you can hear all the songs that we recommend and some of the songs off the albums that we listen to. And I just want to talk about one of the songs, a couple of the songs. Meek Mill dropped "Letter to Nipsey," which is of course an homage to Nipsey Hussle, R.I.P. Marathons Always Forever. My girl Keisha dropped a single called Tonight. Lil Nas X re-released Rodeo with Big Nas, with OG Nas on it.
It's kind of cool.
And the Rodeo's cool. I thought they were still going to have Cardi B on it because Cardi B is on the original version, but it's just Lil Nas and regular Nas. That shit was cool. Hayley Williams from Paramore fame, of course, dropped another single called Leave It Alone. It's pretty chill. It's more upbeat than her first one, Simmer. ASAP Ferg dropped a track called Value. And Trinidad James came out of nowhere with James Woo Woo. It's a fun track, and it definitely low-key made me miss Trinidad James' energy. Last time I heard him on a track was on Pitch Perfect 3. And I'm not mad at that either, because he still got a check for that. And as far as albums go,
Gorillaz dropped a single called Voluntary Bliss with Slow Tie and the Slaves. It's actually the song I've been actually listening to all this weekend.
Word. And for our albums that you guys should check out, Russ dropped a new project. It's like my first Russ project that I listened to for the most part. Like, it's very chill vibe. I was trying to listen to it in the morning, but I had to change something else. I needed something a little more high energy. But it's definitely a vibe-ass album, though. It's cool. Yo Gotti dropped an album called Untrap. If you like Yo Gotti, you want to hear some little ratchet, some little trap shit, it's definitely the way you should go. Lil Wayne dropped Funeral, and this is my favorite Wayne album since C3. Wayne is going in on that shit. It's cool. You know, always got to respect Wayne. He's a GOAT in the game. I always look forward to any album for him, whether he got it or not. I still want to see what he could do and what he's going to say and how he says it. And then Megan Trainor dropped a new album, Treat Myself. And I realized too, Megan Trainor is the white girl equivalent to Jason Derulo. Because they are always putting out songs, but you don't really hear people saying that's my favorite artist. But you know all their songs and you can't get away from them. And Megan Trainor's album is a good pop album. And speaking of pop albums, my dirty pop princess, Keisha, dropped her new album, High Road. And it might be my favorite album of the year. From beginning to end, she's doing her Keisha thing. And people forget, Keisha be rapping. Maybe because she's a white girl and it's pop, but she be rapping. And she's the best white girl rapper in the game.
You know there's only
Not
been
you,
33
Iggy
days
Azalea.
in a year right now.
I know.
What
So
about
far
Danielle
as...
Bergoli.
What's up?
What about Danielle
Who that?
Bergoli? The
Bad
Catch Me
Baby.
Outside.
I know who that is. That's what I said. Who that? No, she can't out-rap Keisha. Keisha came in the game with the most rapper, most flossy, most swaggest line ever. Wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy. It's no more player than that. You ever woke up even thinking about feeling like
What does
Diddy
that
right
mean,
now?
though? I'm not questioning it.
Just
I mean,
feeling
feel like a
Question,
boss.
You just want to know what it is.
You just had
I'm not like-
had
yeah.
6 people walk to Brooklyn to get a cheesecake just to walk back.
Some breast milk.
And some breast milk. That's some Diddy shit.
And
some
some
billionaire
breast milk.
shit. But yes, Keisha dropped the album.
Brooklyn.
So if you're a fan, so if you're a fan of Keisha or just great pop music, check out High Road. You will not be disappointed. We on Color the Raps on Yo What's Poppin', and this when we come to the middle segment, the creme de la creme, which y'all all came here for, and that's Yo We Geeking Out. And so with it being February, I just feel like it's a no-brainer that we're gonna go with something black right now. And speaking of February, like it made Black History, starring the first major African black superhero in comic books. Yes, guys, we are talking about the MCU's own Black Panther. Where we are going, we don't need rogues. The MCU movie that broke the mold. If y'all haven't seen the movie, why not? Racist? Question mark. Because that's a question I actually asked a lot of people when they said, I don't think I'm going to see it. I'm like, why? You've watched every other Marvel movie. So what about this movie that has you on the fence like, I just don't know.
Black.
Panther, is it? You are not a cat person? Is that what it is?
It's kind of like that. It's okay. So, what if it was a white panther? I'm not saying we should have a black people. Black people should exist in the MCU, but maybe not as heroes.
Word, but like there are white panthers.
Oh no, I get it. Falcon's good, but he's a good sidekick. You know?
White panthers are albino. They don't live long in the jungle or the wild because they have poor eyesight. And
But this is a magic one. This is a magic Black Panther.
No,
White Panther.
No, you're right because the goddess Bass is a white panther.
See.
So you have it.
Yes.
Where's the White Panther at? That's what I think.
I literally just told you that.
Where?
It's the goddess Bass is the panther god, and she's the white panther.
I need to see a comic on the front of it. It's got to be Tom Cruise or some shit dressed up as a White Panther.
You know,
Yo, this is not the last samurai, my brother.
we did. This was when the movie came out.
Last
CJ
Black.
and I were working, and a white guy came in. It was dead quiet. He seemed nice enough, but then he started talking about there should be a White Panther
always
movie
seem
set
nice
in Antarctica with nothing but white people, and it should be Vikings and maybe white animals like a white lion or a white bear. And I'm like,
They can't live in those conditions.
Albino Panther. Abominable Snowman.
But yes,
Why not just call it white polar?
or just call him polar bear.
or just call it White Man's America.
Exactly. But yes, Black Panther. Okay, so if you haven't seen Black Panther, it's basically a story of a young king or a young prince that is now king, very much like Simba and the Lion King. His father died right in front of him, and now he has the mantle of kinghood placed upon him, and he's very reluctant at first, but his duty comes before his own displeasures. So and basically this is what he's been groomed for the whole time. And it's about his journey and figuring out that heavy is the head that wears the crown. And also it's one of those tales when you find out, like, your parents didn't know everything. Sometimes people do shitty shit, and you hold people in so high regards that it hurts when they are broken back down into reality, and you have to figure out nobody's perfect.
Yeah, it's like growing up, I had a lot of heroes, and then you find out all the stuff surrounding them as you get older. Tim Allen, I thought was great as a kid. Then I hit my teenage years, and I'm like, something's not right about this guy. And then you're like, oh, well, he's the kind of person that would vote for Trump.
Hey, nobody's perfect. There's a lot of good people that made bad mistakes in their life.
Like Santa Claus 3.
Yes. But no. And Black Panther, of course, takes place in the MCU. It came after Civil War. That's when we first met T'Challa in the movie. But Wakanda was already mentioned previously before. And actually, Captain America, the first Avenger, mentions vibranium, but Wakanda itself doesn't get mentioned by name until Age of Ultron, when they had to go get the vibranium or stop Ultron before he got his hands on it.
Because of that vibranium-built body.
Yes, and vibranium is a special metal that came from an asteroid from space and crash landed in Africa and in Antarctica. And basically, what makes vibranium so special is that it can absorb various amounts of energy, and by absorbing that energy, it just makes it stronger. And also in the comic books, unlike the movie, it has also magical properties that enhances magical abilities if used properly. That's why in the comic book, Dr. Doom had the whole Doom War when he wanted all the vibranium, and he got it, but then something happened, they made it inert, but then somehow it became back viable, but I don't think that ever really explained it. But we're not here to talk about the comic book. We're here to talk about the movie. So Ross, tell me about Black Panther. What's your thoughts? What you like? All that good stuff.
I like the fact that they actually gave us currently a new black superhero that we could relate to. The first one, which was Blade, was what, like 20 years ago?
1998, 9-ish?
Wow.
Yeah.
That long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was great to see that, as well as I like the twist that they did with Killmonger and his upbringing, and how if his dad didn't do what he did and still lived in Wakanda, he could have been raised completely different and completely a whole other character. He probably could have really took up the mantle, and T'Challa probably could have just been T'Challa.
Hell yeah, because now that you bring that up too, it's almost like the Tale of Two Kings or Tale of Two Princes. It's almost like if Scar had a son, then he get mad at Simba. Like, yo, your father is the reason I'm dead because Zazu snitch. You supposed to be my right hand, now you gonna snitch. Now my daddy dead, and now you ain't want to take me back to Pride Rock. Y'all just left me here in fucking America, but they don't like us. And that was a whole another dynamic too. It was like, because Killmonger was whole thing's like, yo, everybody comes from Africa. You're the king of all people. Myself, like my father, believe there's too many black people in the world that are suffering without any assistance from their countries they're in. But we're Wakanda. We're the most technologically advanced nation in the world and the wealthiest. We can supply them with the means to fight back and stand up for their rights. But Wakanda's like, nah, we're isolationists. We're going to do our own thing. And T'Challa's like, this is how it is. This is how it's going to be. But then you have other people in that movie that help change his perspective for that, like Nakia, played by Lupita Nyong'o, and she also played in Us, so she has a relationship with a lot of different people in Hollywood. And her character
Star
was
Wars.
Yes, it's definitely in Star Wars too, another Disney property. She played the chick with the goggles or the eyes in one of those new ones.
Hold on.
That's her.
She was Maz?
Yeah. Yeah, you didn't know that?
What?
Yeah, that's how good an actress is.
Body motion capture and voice.
She's the one who's trying to fuck Chewie.
Yes, yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, she was trying to get that Wookiee.
I like that Wookiee.
But yeah, so she's being a spy, so she's always out in the world seeing how other people are affected by society, and she comes to T'Challa after they meet back up in Wakanda, like, yo, we could be doing so much more in this country. We have the power, so therefore we have the responsibility. And that's where it comes to come fruition at the end of the movie after everything that went down. And also they gave us Killmonger, which is one reason I like the MCU villains, because most of them are very relatable in the stance that you could understand where they're coming from. You might not agree with the way they execute these ideas, but on paper you're like, no, you're right.
I actually I mean, as with a lot of people, I kind of agree with Killmonger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because, T'Challa got to grow up in paradise, and Killmonger, one of the best twists was when you realize at the very beginning, the kid asking to hear about Wakanda, hear the story, is him as a kid. Because he grew up in the slums.
Damn it!
Did you not know that?
I thought it was T'Challa talking to his Baba the whole time.
No, that's Killmonger.
Oh my god!
Baba, tell me the story again.
It opens up so much more too.
Because we're like, my daddy used to tell me
tell me
stories about
stories
Wakanda.
about
Yes. I felt for Killmonger the whole
Oh
damn
my
movie.
God.
Because he
Yo.
was
I see the
cheated.
movie from a whole new perspective.
Yes, I do. This is Killmonger's story.
It's all
I
Killmonger's
see.
story.
Oh shit!
He
This
grew up in
whole-
Oakland like my dad. He knows what it was
The
like.
whole time I thought that was just T'Challa. I didn't once think that was
No,
little
he was
Killmonger.
getting stories about what his home, about the home that he was going to go back to.
Damn.
Right.
That movie just got layers. Oh shit, I'm about to cry again. Even just watching them first time, like just all the little shit,
The
like
subtleness.
the subtleness, like we like that little kid's like, you come find out, oh that little kid was Killmonger. He
Killmonger
saw
the
the
whole
light,
entire
so he
time.
knew Wakanda was real. Like
Yeah.
I can't be crazy. Then growing up, you come to find your daddy dead, and like even when they go into the ancestral plane. Because his daddy wasn't buried in Wakanda, so they just went back to the apartment
only place
in
he knew.
Oakland. But then out the windows, you can still see
Wakanda.
the ancestral plane.
yeah.
Yes.
Now, one of the things I cried at the end when he's there. It was one line that got me, and it's after the fight happens and they got him out there and he's holding him to show him the sunlight, and he goes, "My dad promised he'd bring me here to show me the sunrise. You believe that?" And I'm like, oh.
A young black kid in Oakland believing fairy tale, and the show like, I got you, fam. He just hold him up. He get to see the Wakanda sunset, the sunrise.
So this is the thing. I think they need to give Ryan Coogler like more creative control to like really let those elements of like the storytelling and shit that he does like come through more, because like I feel like you're bringing like all this shit to the forefront when really when I think about Black Panther, I'm thinking about like over the top crazy CGI car chases and shit, when I think that's
so
where the
much
heart
more.
is. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, if you go back and watch the movie
Yeah.
as if this is Killmonger's story,
It brings
it's a
out
whole
so
new
much
movie.
Because
Right.
he, growing up with his father, he was living his father's dream. Because this is what his
'Cause
father
it
wanted
is.
to do, would help all black people around the world rise up and be who they were meant to be, and as kings and queens, not subservient
As
to
well as-
colonizers.
Killmonger stood, which also was great too, is he got the same type of knowledge as T'Challa, but didn't go the same route, and yet still use that knowledge for his gains, getting back in Wakanda, getting all Wakanda materials back to them, and just going all the balls and walls to prove that Wakanda shouldn't be in isolation.
Hell yeah.
they should be leading the way.
Exactly, because that's one of the things too. Because a lot of people are like, yo, how did T'Challa lose to Killmonger? Blah blah blah, fighting for the king. We're like, because it's the thing. T'Challa's been trained as a warrior, but he's been the Black Panther so long that he's just used to fighting with the heart-shaped herb and all this enhancements. Killmonger's been trained to kill him since he decided to. So he's just been training his body to peak physical perfection as a human being. So T'Challa is like, it's like going on a diet. Now you got to get used to this new body when Killmonger has always been in this body. So now you got to try to catch up and get used to your new strength or lack there is, and not being able to move as quickly as you used to moving.
As
So
well
that's why
as challenging
Killmonger
for
got
the
that one.
king in the Black Panther was always rare. It was only
Yeah.
like
Every now and again.
Yeah, now and again, and not many people challenged them.
Exactly, because like you even see in the movie, they were like, nope, T'Challa, go ahead. Then you have the boy M'Baku and the Jabari tribe come down.
I like him.
And they already
Yes.
addressed it that he already lost multiple times too.
Exactly. And
But
there's a
he
whole
kept on
origin with like
trying.
M'Baku, Nakia, even Okoye,
Yeah.
and her husband just being kids in Wakanda, and T'Challa being, oh, we already know you the president, just that animosity was there.
Yeah, it was always there.
To compare it to kind of the opposite on the race spectrum, Thor, in that one, you also had that same history where they grew up together, but you felt the animosity. Here, you kind of got to imagine T'Challa was, while a smart guy and someone they would follow, also like a little bit of an entitled dick sometimes.
Yeah, I definitely could see that. and it would make sense too as well because it's already his, and he already felt that way. Like, all right, I'm just coming in and get mine. I'm gonna be out. I'm out here being diplomatic with my father. You know, it is what it is. Especially when you have Shuri, his little sister, there too. So it's all of that dynamic
Love
too.
Shuri.
That movie has so many unknown surprises, like M'Baku, Shuri being one. Like, what are those? Even though that joke was already 2 years old, it still worked.
It still worked.
Because it made that work because, like, did she generally not know that term is old? And when she's like, I call them sneakers. From the old movie Bob I used to watch. Like, do you not know that that's what shoes are called outside of Wakanda? Are you that sheltered? Or is it like, that's your sense of humor?
I think that's her sense of humor.
Because I was like, did she not
it.
know that?
Like, think about it. She's a genius. She can name it whatever she wants. And they're sneaky shoes.
Yes.
She's just gonna call them sneakers.
But if they only stay in Wakanda, are they watching MTV and BT and other shit too?
But does she stay in Wakanda because it seemed like only the Thai royalties were able to?
Yeah, that's what I think too. Because
leave.
in different aspects of the Black Panther comic book, it's kind of like with the Amish. What's that? Rumspringa when they go out for that like week to experience the world. I think they kind of do that in Wakanda too. Like the younger Wakandans go out there and come back.
Because even at the end, she's like, "I thought you were taking me to Disneyland."
True that.
She knows what Disneyland is.
Exactly. And Starbucks, like, I thought you meant something like Starbucks or the Olympics.
I think she's able to keep up on it because she's their like top technician.
Yes.
She has to know what's going on in the world. Right?
And knowing her, she'd probably be hacking.
That's right.
Hell
Even if
yeah.
she's not allowed to, Shuri's still watching what she
got-
watches.
But that's one thing too. I wish they would have played more into like T'Challa's intelligence because in the comic books, he's one of the top
greatest,
7 smartest people in the world. So I wish they would, because you kind of know that because she mentioned how that's your old suit, you designed that. So he designed that, so you know he's capable mentally and intellectually, but they don't really allow him to,
like the strategic or like
the strategist nature.
Whenever they got into battle, it just was like, this is from hand to hand combat.
Yeah.
Not like I studied and paid attention to your fighting stance.
Exactly.
Except low key, they did let him know that like when the train was coming, he did take notice of all that, so he did play that. But like that's just a small settlement.
Too. And another little thing too is like his senses are on par with Wolverine's, so he has a heightened sense of smell, sight, and hearing. I wish they would have played into that. Also, he could like kind of see in the dark too, because of the heart-shaped herb. So that would have been cool. So that's something I hope they bring up in part 2. But then we could get into like what we want to see from him in the future.
I think just for me, I want to see. That's one of the reasons why I really want the Fantastic Four a little more introduced, because I do want to see that Reed and T'Challa meeting of the minds moment.
Yeah, it's that kind of like back and forth, almost that back and forth. But now that you bring it up, I think it's gonna be more him and Shuri. Kind of like the moment in Infinity War.
Yeah.
They're like, only thing you had to do was cross this and cross this and cross that.
Why did you do this?
Then Bruce just was looking at her, and Vision looking at Bruce like, yeah, I'm a robot. I ain't think of that. Bruce like,
Which made that scene even more great because it's like all these smart people and this little old girl was like y'all know y'all could have just screwed the wires this way and made it way more simpler. And they just all was like, oh, we overlooked it.
For real. The smartest, quite arguably, the smartest person in the world is a 16-year-old black girl, which is dope. And the fact that she was only dealing with the Vision for, we don't know, I'll give him like 20, if that minutes.
If that.
And she already like, y'all could have did it so much better. I could figure it out. We could bring him back without this the Mind Stone, but it might just take a little bit. If there was no war, I could do this lickety split. You know, I got the tech. But then it was like, whatever. Then also like then you got the boy Ryan Coogler that directed. You know, he did Creed, Fruitville Station. My fault. He's gonna be back for part 2. And Ryan Coogler's dope because some people say pandering and this thing and there, black movie, you gotta get a black director. Like, you don't have to, but certain things are handled better when it comes from people of a certain culture. Like, for example, when black characters are written a lot in books, you could tell when they're being forced to speak a certain way. Same time with certain young characters, like, what's the hot slang? Insert slang here.
Right.
throw some yo-yo-yos or some words or
when
some
you
shit
know
in here.
something's written by someone who didn't grow up in that culture,
Exactly.
you can feel how unauthentic it is.
Exactly.
Now, and I mean, just going with that, as much as Brian Michael Bendis did some fun
I
stuff
was literally about to bring that
for
up.
Marvel, him writing Miles or him writing Luke Cage, everyone else could be talking like just
Normal,
like you
yes.
are. And then when Luke Cage comes in, he's like, "Yo, where the streets at? I'm on my steez." And you're like, "Wait a second, what? That's that, like what?"
And you better pull up to the bumper with that. I'm like,
Yeah,
that
wait.
doesn't even mean that. But that's why I forgot
He's
to
just
mention.
saying random shit like that Kevin Hart bit where he's like, "Say it with your chest."
Yes.
What does it mean?
You heard them dog whistles. You better bark. I'm like, what the fuck, Luke? But that's one thing I want to bring up in, on the Escaping podcast when Dr. Doom was like, when Luke Cage broke through his door, was like, where my money, honey? And Doom was like, somebody told me there was a loud black man storming through storming through Latveria. I just knew it had to be you, Luke Cage. And he wasn't wrong.
He's not wrong.
But that's not the exact Doom quote, but that's basically saying.
But again, like the fact that it's
It
written
just
by
sounds good enough to be a Doom quote.
Yeah,
but the fact that it's written by a 50-year-old bald white man,
exactly.
something about it makes me go, that's not okay.
I
Exactly.
don't know how to feel about this.
Now,
shit,
like
you know,
when
right?
Ta-Nehisi Coates writes, and
Yeah.
there's some slang in there, you're like, well, he actually knows what the slang
Exactly,
is.
and it feels organic. But it's hard for something to feel organic if you only fuck with artificial flavorings.
Sure.
And if you're not from that era.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That too. Speaking of that shit too, yeah, like Michael B. Jordan
Oh,
killed it as Killmonger. Like,
yes.
Best
Yes.
part. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I think Killmonger's the best villain in MCU.
Just so
So
good.
far. I mean,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, arguably,
cinematically,
like,
Yeah, cinematically, he might be our
story-wise,
best
yeah.
villain.
I'd put him right up there with the Netflix Kingpin.
yes.
Because
Yeah.
season 1 Kingpin was
Season 1 Kingpin, Purple Man, he's up there too.
when
for me.
you take
Purple
away
Man is a good one,
the
was a good
villains
one.
being evil just for evil's sake and
Yes.
actually give them a relatable background,
Right.
it sails.
like, Killmonger wouldn't be the villain in an Avengers movie.
No.
But he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
He's like, I
wanna
know
fight
my
all these
route to the goals that I'm trying to accomplish.
Bro, I don't need to
Oh,
worry
yeah.
about you Avengers.
Yeah,
I got a
yeah.
whole nation.
Exactly,
A
yeah.
whole
My goal
nation
isn't
ready to
the
ride.
world. My goal is this nation.
And
right
with this
now.
nation, I will take over the
Yeah,
world.
because the world is his throne in his
Hell
eyes.
yeah. Hell yeah. Then he came in and, like, I could talk about this movie all day. Like, the fight scenes were cool. I wish there was a little
He
more
came-
action.
What was so great was he came in, corrected the female on her knowledge, and then just went into robbery mode, which
Hell
was just
yeah.
like one of the great. That was a great heist scene.
Oh,
'Cause, yeah.
I'm going to take this off your hands. Like, you just can't take it. Well, I don't think your ancestors paid for this shit when they raped it and took it from people when
I
they
gotta
was
be
pillaging.
honest too. He looked good too. His whole outfit design when he goes into that museum, I'm like, that is a great look.
And-
Him with the glasses and his hair done
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, this dude
Had swag.
And Michael B. Jordan was fucking huge
Yeah.
for that movie.
with
Like,
his Lego brick body.
Yeah.
with the little studs coming out.
yeah. And obviously he had a
Each
past,
one is a kill,
relationship with Ryan Coogler because of like Fruitvale Station and Creed and all that.
Exactly.
And so
So where there's Ryan, there's
and he
Michael
makes a
B.
good
Jordan.
villain, honestly. As an
See,
actor,
they should have
like,
had
he made
Ryan
a good
Coogler do
villain.
that fan force stick.
That would have, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, if he would have damn that Fantastic Four,
That would have been good.
He probably might have found something.
But he already got 2 Marvel characters underneath his belt. Because I want to see in this multiverse of madness 2 Johnny Storms.
Okay. Do you think we'd see
No,
Chris
Chris-
Evans
yeah,
and Michael B. Jordan?
That's
come
why,
back as the-
just like in what they did on Infinite Crisis on CW, that's what I want Marvel to do. Because you got 2 Johnny Storms right there. You could bring
the
back any
two
other.
Brandon Routh scene was
That
Oh,
shit
it
was
was great.
on point.
that was
It
chef
was
kiss beautiful.
great.
Exactly. You got 2 Deadpools. One was shitty, but nonetheless, you still have 2. So there's
And it's still the same
We-
person too.
exactly like they want to do with the Spider-Verse movie live action. Give us all 3 Spider-Man.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you have these actors that play multiple characters throughout the MCU proper and other associations. Even with Ghost Rider, bring back Nick Cage.
Bring back Nick Cage.
And what would
Why
make
not?
me great about the
You got Wesley.
Deadpool
You're gonna
is,
have 2 blades.
They can.
Oh, bring back Wesley Snipes.
Yes, you can hate, but still though.
I love me Black Wesley Snipes.
Oh,
Word.
Yeah, white Wesley Snipes is not my favorite.
White
but-
Wesley.
White Wesley is not the greatest, baby.
Because white.
I liked how okay,
Yeah, how you gonna put a whole bite of bread in your mouth and then go, bro, big
He's white.
Isn't white Wesley Snipes Jason Statham?
Whoa.
Ooh, no, because Jason Statham ain't did a sports movie yet.
Because white man can't jump. Ah!
That's Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson could jump.
But shout out to
Snipes too old.
But
He's like in his 50s or something.
he's still what most people ask.
And he's trying to play a 30-year-old Cletus Cassidy.
He's talking about. I thought he was talking about Wesley Snipes.
No, Woody
no,
Harrelson.
I'm
yeah.
talking about Wesley. Well, they're both. Like,
No,
in their
Wesley
50s.
Snipes is a trained black belt, and he's still in shape.
He's still crazy too.
And you would be crazy too if you was black in America.
Oh, but he was good
Yes,
as
I'm
fucking
using that as an
Dolomite.
excuse.
Did you see Dolomite?
Yes,
dude.
he was fantastic.
He
in
could have got a
Dolomite.
fucking Oscar for that shit.
You need to watch
he was
Dolomite.
I
He
will
killed
watch
that
that
shit.
one. I will watch
He played a little crazy in that shit too.
He didn't play. He just showed up.
See?
He
That's
just
how good of
showed
an
up.
actor
a
he is.
flamboyant like film director,
Word.
and it's totally not Blade.
For real. But
Okay.
also shout out to Michonne. She played Okoye, the leader of the Dora Milaje, Black Panther's personal Secret Service.
Basically,
Secret Service. Made up all women that in the comic book they were all basically betrothed to Black Panther, or supposed to be quote unquote like concubines, but also able to fuck you up at a moment's notice. So it's their own version of the Red Room. Now I'm thinking about it, because on paper the Dora Milaje will whoop any Black Widow's ass. Sits on paper. That's how it should go down. But they won't play that way in the movie. Just like how in Civil War she's like, move or be moved.
I mean, it's two
And
different
T'Challa's like,
lines of fighting, though.
No, even though I would like to see that a lot. It is, but still though, I'm gonna put my money on the Wakandans.
As far as a force to defend their nation, yes.
I'm talking about just straight
Now,
up hand in
I'm
hand.
talking someone like, because with the Red Room, they're designed for infiltration.
See, okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, a little more finesse
Exactly,
than
yeah.
whoop assery.
Yeah. Now,
That's a new word.
where the the Dora, what was it, Dora?
Dora Milaje.
The Dora Milaje, where they have like the strength and the numbers and that kind of like
And the
team-
vibranium
and
weapons.
the vibranium weapons. The Red Room graduates, they have the finesse and they see the angles in every room and they go, okay, I don't need to fight you hand to hand.
Word.
I
But
have
for all we know, there might be a Wakandan sleeper cell, because I saw one black one. They're like, yo, we need a bitch in Harlem.
We need a bitch in Harlem.
But shout out to Okoye, because she was low key like the MVP in that movie too. She got arguably most of the best action sequences too.
Yeah, she
and
did.
even a little adorable moment when the rhino stopped in liquor. Because if you pay attention, when T'Challa was talking to her husband, he was feeding the rhino. So they just let you know they raise these rhinos, so these rhinos know who to attack and who not. Like even in the battlefield, she already know not to roll up on mama.
My favorite Okoye scene though is when she throws her wig in the casino and starts just kicking ass.
Hell yeah.
Because that
Yeah.
move right there would throw anyone off. Someone just pulls off their hair and throws it at you.
Like, what is this thing? What is this? You actually wear this shit? Yeah, she do be having some of the best lines.
Yeah, she did.
Did he
show out.
freeze? Look at antelope in her legs. Just all like it. Man.
He got mad too that she just pulled.
And then she had like the best line in Infinity War too. Like, why was she up there the whole time? She could do that. We down here getting her ass whooped. Big ass wheels. And she's like, woo. And you sitting there like, yeah. Why is she up there the whole time?
She's making a lot of sense.
Oh, speaking of Infinity War, when T'Challa dusted, and then used it, I was like, oh, the king. She did like,
This is no place to die.
yes.
And then he
He
dies.
dies. I was like,
No!
Yeah.
What am I supposed to say? And she literally had him in his hands. She's like, everything's all right. We just won the war.
Get up, girl.
The battle's over.
The purple dude just knocked the shit out of me, but we cool though.
Next thing you know, vanish. She grabbed his hand and everything.
I was like, nigga, you just had a movie. But also that shows you that Marvel did not realize how big of a hit Black Panther was going to be. Because they had to go back and do more reshoots in Wakanda for Endgame. Because like, oh shit, this is something. But yeah, so with that coming to a wrap, you know what? That was Black Panther. And we geeked that about it. And to close off the show, we just going to give you some recommendations and yo, check it out. So who would like to go first? Black superhero movies. What should people check out?
I'll take it off. Good old 90s superhero movie by the name of Meteor Man. Directed and starring and written by one of my favorite black leaders in entertainment, Robert Townsend. It's basically about a man who lived. Was it in Harlem? It was in New York. I want to say it was in New York. It's either New York or Chicago.
I think it might have been Shocktown.
Yeah.
Either way, it was a city.
It was a suburb city. And Meteor crashed down into the Was it that far?
It crashed somewhere.
It crashed into the town.
Much like Smallville.
He ends up touching it, and when he touched that meteor, he gained a minute's worth of super speed that allowed him to read any book that he touched. And this during a time period where knowledge is power. Any book, basically. Learn karate. All of that. And he applied that into his fighting. Great comedy movie. And to me, it was the movie that allowed Disney to give him the chance to write one of my favorite Disney Channel movies of all time, Up, Up, and Away.
I was going to talk about Up, Up, and Away, but I got another one in the pocket.
Oh, go ahead, baby.
No, we hold on. I can't
It's
tell
Up,
you
Up, and Away. When I saw that as a kid,
Yeah, because we don't bring that up in a special movie review.
man, that was one of those Disney Channel movies that you, like, if you didn't see it, and you missed Up, Up, and Away, you missed one of the coolest family dynamics of having powers before that became like a
It was
worn out
Proto
trope.
Incredibles.
It was Proto
It's
Incredibles.
Proto Incredibles. It was
And Proto My Hero
It was
Academia.
Proto Sky High.
Yes.
I literally, in my theory case, is if it wasn't for Up, Up, and Away, we wouldn't have got Sky High.
I'm
We
cool
wouldn't
with
have
that.
got
Yeah,
like
I
a
see that.
lot of these Disney Channel
That's
superhero
right.
movies.
Now, I guess for mine,
Paved the way for the Thundermans. Henry Danger.
I don't know if you'd call it a black superhero movie, but there is a black character in there who does get superpowers, and that is Michael B. Jordan in Chronicle.
God damn it! I know. See, I was thinking about that shit too, but no.
Yeah, I
It
was
is a
saying,
black superhero.
No, it's good enough. It's good enough.
But he dies.
But still, though, he's
But
a
he's
hero.
also an inspiration to the main
Exactly.
character.
yeah.
I'm cool with it. Nah, it was on my list.
Oh man,
too.
that movie! Like a lot of people when it came out didn't like it. I love that movie.
I
How
love
could you
that
not
movie.
like it?
Yeah.
That's a fucking good movie.
It literally built friendship, and then also you
The
just got to
destruction.
see like
The rise and fall.
yo,
Where are the captions at?
everything's so great amongst
Got
these
it.
friends with powers. Something might happen, and one person might turn into a villain, and then y'all
And
all
then
might
go
have
on
to
to-
try to.
It's the
stop
whole
him.
Orochimaru Jiraiya
Forster?
and Lady Sonata shit.
And then he went on to be the Green Goblin in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, but it was like Chronicle was good. It's like one of the best first-person steady-hand cameras movies
so
ever.
good,
Like it's
man.
that Blair Witch. That I'm gonna say
Don't say.
The Last Exorcism
Okay.
and Paranormal Activity, the Mark ones.
But not
Yes.
Cloverfield because that movie is.
I'm sorry, but I'm a
Dookie butter.
Cloverfield fan.
That was okay. I seen worse.
I'm being honest. And also,
VHS
also the two.
one.
It's a good one.
Also, too, you got to realize Cloverfield was supposed to be our first American-made monster movie.
Yeah, which is
And it
kind of
was a
why
great-
Americans shouldn't be making monster movies.
But-
Leave the kaiju to Japan.
But realize,
And if it's gonna be a kaiju, make it a kaiju. Don't make it a
That was
scare
a-
Jew. I can't even scare him. I can't even see the motherfucker. Where he hiding at?
that is.
Show me the monster. The same thing with Godzilla.
That's a marketing plan. It's like,
But
ooh, what
I'm
the
being
fuck
honest.
is it just to get you in the
I became
theaters?
more of a fan of the Cloverfield lore.
Okay.
So
I
that's
hear,
why
well,
I'm
I've heard that
also-
every movie after the first one was decent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then if you get into the lore of the Cloverfield,
Especially the one
jump-off,
with
it's just,
Mary
like, so
Elizabeth
great.
Weinstein.
Oh, 10-Field Cloverfield Lane.
Yeah, that was cool.
Oh,
That
And
might
John
be my
Goodman,
favorite.
right?
Oh yeah, that's my favorite one.
That's my shit.
What about you, Randy? Got a
Recommendations?
black superhero movie someone should check out?
I got two, I guess, but the first one, it's not a black superhero movie per se, but it does have a black superhero in it, and that's The Matrix, Morpheus.
Which might be played by Michael B. Jordan in an origin movie.
Not more,
Oh, that'd be
but
real
yet
fucking
also more
sweet.
than one because wouldn't you consider the old lady that gave him all
The
the
Oracle, she a program, but then again,
Yeah, she's
we're
a
all
program.
programs in the Matrix. What about your second one?
My other one is, I know we already talked about Blade, but specifically Blade 2, directed by Guillermo del Toro.
Really?
Yeah.
That's okay. That's the one that does it for you.
That's, I mean,
At least you didn't say Blade Trinity.
But
Nobody
technically-
does.
Trinity.
But
Nobody does.
technically, Blade 2, if you really look at it, it was the CGI in Blade 2 was tested, and if it wasn't that due to the success and people liking that CGI, it wouldn't have been used for Spider-Man.
And the
you're
X-Men
right,
movies,
you're right.
because Blade was the
Yeah.
catalyst. Because
Blade-
imagine this: after Blade 1 came out, all vampires died the same. Before that, they didn't just burn and fade away. They was like, ooh, but after Blade, like, and now every movie after that, vampires died the Blade
Evaporate,
way, and they
yeah.
evaporate, which explains why they're no longer here.
And
But-
I'm sure I've already been quoted in saying my favorite vampire genre is Underworld.
yes.
Because
So what about Blade 2 makes that one your personal favorite?
so it gets more into like the monster aspect of vampires and not just like, well, you know vampires, right? You know? And
Yeah, because the first one was kind of like almost sexy vampires,
right? Like
normal.
techno. Yeah, and it had Mos Def was on the soundtrack. Blade 2.
Oh yeah, fight.
I don't know if that's the lyrics.
I at first side.
Yeah.
Because my boy Joe had that soundtrack, so we used to ride around listening to that and that Daredevil with that Evanescence on it too. It came out like around the same year.
the shit out of that Evanescence.
Yeah. All right. So for me, my movie I'm gonna recommend is Hancock by Will Smith. Underrated superhero movie, but before the Marvel movies were out here dominating.
It was underrated. I'm not gonna
And it was
lie.
low key a love story too. After everything was said and done, it was classic kind of superhero trope. He forgot who he was, so now he's just trying to relive his life and try to do good, but also being a royal fuck up. So he had to get damage control for his PR and get a whole new re-imaging. But then, you know, there's a pitfalls in that. But then they found out his weakness is the fact like the longer he's with Charlize Theron, as long as he's with Charlize Theron's character, he becomes weaker because there was some like ancient deities, aliens, gods that when they're linked together they become mortal, but when they're separate they have superpowers. And he was like their greatest champion, even though technically she was stronger than him, but she left him alone so he could be the hero the world needed because, you know, she's white, he's black, and they basically got jumped by some people that hated the fact that they were interracial couple back in like the 50s or the 60s.
And that did knock him out.
And they killed him because they was mortal at the time. And the movie they saw was Hancock. So when he woke up, he had that ticket on him. And he went on just by the name of Hancock, which came out of nowhere too. But that's one of these movies I wish they would revisit. I'll be okay with a reboot. I would just like to see more of that world explained and explored in some way, shape, or form. Preferably anime, because anime always kills it.
I definitely, when I saw that movie, I was I was younger. That movie came out when I was like maybe preteen, teen, just teen, and I didn't know how I felt about the idea of a hero not being able to be a hero, because and that you still have that childlike idea of all heroes are good, all heroes are here to save the day. But as I got older, I'm rewatching that movie. I'm like, this is kind of great. The idea that he's alive for fucking ever, and he's stopped caring. It's not quite like The Boys where you know they're corrupt, but he just doesn't care anymore. There's no point.
Yeah,
I love it. You
can't get close to nobody.
And then even when he becomes a hero at the end, he's still.
It's like the most pure form of hedonism, where it's like, well, there are technically no negative consequences to my actions because I can't die. I'm indestructible.
Yeah.
Why not? Be
do
the
it.
Why not?
Do what the fuck I want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But the good thing is, though, he wasn't a bad guy. He wasn't just doing dick shit for the sake of doing dick shit. It wasn't like on some Brightburn shit. But he still tried. Yes, he tried his best. All right, guys, so that's going to bring us to the end of this episode of Yo, Where the Captions At? I want to thank Randall and Daniel both for being here.
I'm here every week.
Exactly. Thank you, guys. Anything you want to say real quick?
Catch me outside. How about that?
I wish I didn't ask that question.
I'm going to catch Randy outside, and I'll tell you guys what happened.
Word. Be careful what you wish for. And today we're going to end this episode with a track called Parade by my cousin Nocca. He's a talented young man. Go listen to it, support it. It's going to be on our playlist. And yeah, Ross, anything?
Also, just random, I know a lot of people might just be like, why didn't y'all mention Spawn? Well, it's technically an anti-hero, and
there's a million other movies we could bring up, too.
Yeah. And
Nash Bridges.
Oh, Nash Bridges.
Or Pluto Nash.
Okay.
Oh,
there you go.
Pluto Nash with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, no, we don't talk about that in the black community. We swept that shit on the rug. As a guilty pleasure. Just like the Wizard of Oz fans swept underneath Oz 2, The Return to Oz. We don't talk about that movie either.
We only watch it as a guilty pleasure.
All right, word. Well, all right, guys. As always, I'm yours truly, Kels for Show.
And I'm yours truly, Roscoe Tenkoya.
And remember, guys, be one or be nothing.
Be kind, all.
Take care.
On my wrist, got the drop on my arm. Was with the plug, making plays at the dorm. No, I'm not regular, don't fit the norm. I got the drip, it's running concorn. They wanna come to me, I can't conform. Thought he was hot till I made him lukewarm. Make it rain, forecast and thunderstorms. Got the funk like a musty underarm. I like a big bit that can make a booty shake. Wake up my slumber, then I'm gonna bake. Formulate process to elevate. Try her ass, nigga, we know you a fake. All of that acting, thought I was on Broadway. She got sex appeal, I wanna fuck all day. High as the sun, I can see through the shade. Bum ass nigga can't rain on my parade. Parade. I got bands like a parade. Dive in it, I'ma invade. Beat her back in this concave. Parade. I can see through the charade. Work through the path that I pave. She got smooth hair like a shade. My body big like an Escalade. Built for whatever come in my way. Creating waves till I hit the grave. Before I leave, you would know what I gave. Don't really have to persuade him. Hard work put in, can't take nothing away from him. I need a baddie from Asia. Giving her chills like a glacier. Got a hood like I went out to go fishing. Oh yeah, I'm hot, burned a pot in the kitchen. Fabric saw niggas remind me of linen. Head of the seat, they calling me a chairman. Heat of the moment, I gotta take action. Not talking luggage when I say I'm packing. She got the girl, got me speaking pit Latin. Gap in the hole, that scene T keep on closing. You cannot stray me from nothing. Speak like this cause I am chosen. These niggas need to stop rapping. I glide in the dark, I'm feeling like Batman. Stoner lifestyle on my head on Stonehenge. Discussion shorter than the soda can. Right with my left and smack with my right hand. I don't see shit, I'm a blind man. Flipping the stock like a Jew, man. Hey, parade. I got bands like a parade. Dive in it, I'ma invade. Beat her back in this concave. Parade. I can see through the charade. Work through the path that I pave. She got smooth hair like a shade.